and he was a superstar down there before he became a superstar here in the US. He won some tournaments down there. He's a good friend. He still plays tour golf. Undoubtedly, the guy, he's slowed down a lot now. But in his heyday, not even I could come near him.
It's just great for him. And, it's kind of like kind of a blue-collar guy like me. I don't think he grew up in, having everything given to him and all that. So I respect him.
3 hours later, he comes back. I said, come have a drink with us. He goes, man, Daly, I said, if I had your talent, I'd be doing the same thing you're doing.
How good was John Daly? When Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus talk about him, they do not laugh or dismiss his talent. Daly might be golf's biggest what-if in the history of sport. Most people remember a wild thing, a drunk golfer, a character, but when the legends talked about him, they sounded shocked and amazed. Tiger admitted he would quit the gym forever if he had Daly's talent and natural gifts. He would abandon his entire discipline. If that already makes you go, no way, hit the hype thing and give it some hype. It really helps. All right, let's get into it. John Daly won 2 major championships in his career, 1991 PGA Championship and 1995 Open Championship. Just 2 major titles. But the way other golfers talked about him, you would think he won 20 majors. The legends did not see him as a guy who merely won 2 majors. They saw him as someone who should have won 20 and chose not to. Number 5. Gary Player called him the most naturally talented player he ever saw. Gary Player, the Black Knight, the inventor of modern golf fitness. He looked at John Daly and said, "This guy is the most gifted I have ever witnessed." If Daly had Tiger Woods' work ethic, he would have been the greatest player in history. Not the greatest what if. The greatest player. Player saw a man who could win majors while overweight and out of shape. Player was frustrated, like looking at a Ferrari being driven off a cliff. Fuzzy Zoeller was Daly's contemporary on the tour, a guy who liked to have fun. But Zoeller was shocked. So shocked he made a dark bet with Daly. Zoeller bet Daly $150,000 that Daly would not live to age 50. That was genuine fear, real concern. When Daly turned 50, he joked he would take vodka instead. A dark joke. Ernie Els came from South Africa, but Els knew about Daly and his talent. Els said Daly was a superstar before America even noticed him. Els said Daly's talent was something not even he could come near. Els stood on the range next to Daly. He saw it up close. He knew it was different. Nick Faldo was a 6-time major winner, a guy known for being mechanical and methodical. Faldo said, "My Sunday best is a Wednesday afternoon compared to him." Faldo had to work for every shot on the course. Daly just unleashed them. Pure power, pure feel. Number 4. Arnold Palmer was different from the other legends. Palmer saw in Daly a mirror of himself, both from blue-collar backgrounds. Both played aggressive golf. Both had armies of fans. Palmer loved Daly's grip it and rip it philosophy. Palmer's own book was Hit It Hard. Simple, aggressive. That was both of them. Palmer reached out with handwritten letters and paternal mentoring. Palmer never scolded Daly publicly like others did. He tried quiet guidance and private conversations. Palmer wrote about keeping the head still and trusting simplicity. Palmer tried to teach Daly to ignore all the modern analysis and overcomplication. The bond became iconic in golf culture. The Arnold Palmer drink is iced tea and lemonade. Simple, clean, pure, and refreshing. The John Daly drink is an Arnold Palmer with vodka. Palmer joked an Arnold Palmer with vodka. He made a quip, but the drink itself was the metaphor. Daly was Palmer spiked with chaos. Palmer was the disciplined legend. Daly was his chaotic successor. They were connected forever by a beverage. Palmer's mentorship failed. He tried to rescue Daly from himself. He knew golf needed characters. He wanted Daly to survive and carry the torch forward, but Daly gambled and drank constantly. Palmer felt sad, like a father watching his son self-destruct. Daly respected Palmer and credits him as key inspiration, but the dynamic was disappointment. A wayward son and disappointed father figure. Number 3, Butch Harmon was the swing coach, the master of golf instruction, the genius who built the swings of Greg Norman and Tiger Woods. In 2008, Harmon decided to coach Daly in a final attempt to save his career. Daly was aging with injuries mounting, a separated shoulder that required frequent resetting. But Harmon saw immense potential. The partnership lasted weeks, just weeks of collaboration. Harmon's resignation was scathing. Harmon said the most important thing in life is getting drunk. That quote hit the industry hard. This was a man who had managed the world's biggest stars, expressing pure frustration. Harmon felt that Daly had more talent than almost anyone, but Daly refused to do the minimum required. Daly saw coaching as a quick fix. Daly got defensive immediately. He said Harmon's lies destroyed his life. Daly viewed his lifestyle as intrinsic to his identity and personality. But even after the split, Harmon maintained that Daly was among the most talented players he ever saw. Harmon grouped Daly alongside Dustin Johnson and Fred Couples, players who made the game look effortlessly easy. Harmon's what-if scenario was truly brutal and harsh. With even a fraction of Tiger's discipline, Daly could have won dozens of majors, a Ferrari being driven off-road. He could not reconcile them with someone who refused to nurture them. One rain delay, Daly spent it in a Hooters tent and emerged with John Gruden, a Buccaneers coach, as his caddy. To Harmon, this was mockery of the professional environment he revered. Number 2, Jack Nicklaus had 18 major championships. The Golden Bear, the benchmark, the standard for excellence in professional golf. Nicklaus focused on something specific about Daly, not his power or his distance or his length off the tee, his hands, his soft hands. That was the key. In golf, soft hands means something very precise. It means light grip pressure. It means extreme dexterity on the most delicate shots. Chipping, pitching, bunker play. Soft hands prevent the club from digging into the ground, from decelerating too much, from ruining touch and feel. A hitter uses the club like an axe. A swinger uses it like a whip. Most players who generate massive power are hitters. The brute force required to drive a ball 300 yards usually creates tension in the forearms and hands. That muscular tension destroys the delicacy needed for soft touch. Nicklaus repeatedly emphasized that Daly had super soft hands around the greens. This was not small praise. This was Nicklaus identifying Daly as a complete virtuoso, not a one-dimensional slogger. Not a power player without finesse, a physiological paradox, a man with the build of a linebacker and the hands of a surgeon. Nicklaus noted that Daly was an athlete who grossly neglected conditioning, yet somehow retained incredible power and super soft hands. That combination should not exist in professional golf. A player who hits at 300 yards should not have delicate touch like that, but Daly did. Nicklaus compared him to Sam Snead, a player with fluid, rhythmic motion that belied the violence of impact, that effortless power. Daly's backswing was long, past parallel, sometimes nearly touching his left ankle at the top. Conventional wisdom says this creates too many moving parts, too much inconsistency and unpredictability. But Daly's genius was his ability to reroute the club back to the ball with perfect squareness at impact. That requires exceptional hand-eye coordination and timing, innate rhythm. These things cannot be taught in any gym. Nicklaus acknowledged the tragedy. Daly's time in the spotlight was cut short because of neglected conditioning. Nicklaus believed the sport was evolving toward athleticism. Daly rejected that evolution entirely. If Daly had possessed the mental fortitude of Nicklaus or the discipline of Gary Player, his record might have challenged all-time greats. Nicklaus claimed management was 80% of golf. Daly had maybe 10% of that. Nicklaus was saying Daly's foundation was higher, his starting point elevated above most champions ever. He did not need the gym to be great. The gym would have made him unstoppable. Number 1, Tiger Woods. Everything leads to Tiger. Everything comes down to his admission. Not criticism, not judgment, envy, confession. The most stunning thing any legend said about John Daly. The setting was 2004, the Target World Challenge Tournament, an exclusive tournament with fewer than 20 top players invited. Tiger's invitation was validation of your status as a golfer. The incident happened Wednesday after the Pro AM competition round, the clubhouse, where players decompress after playing. Daly and Tiger decompressed very differently. Daly had completed his round. He was seated with friends, consuming alcohol, recounting stories, the everyman persona, the scene that endeared him to fans but alienated the sport's purists. Tiger entered the room. The visual contrast was stark and clear. Tiger wore workout attire. He was heading to the gym. Despite having just played 18 holes of golf, Tiger was heading to work out again anyway. This was Tiger Woods. The gym was his religion, his foundation. Daly observed this and extended an invitation. Tiger, come have a beer with us? When Tiger declined politely, Daly pushed further. Man, you don't need to work out. You need to drink a little bit with us. Tiger's response was not simple rejection. Tiger said, if I had your talent, I would be doing the same thing you are doing. Daly's reaction was disbelief. He was thinking you were crazy, man. Tiger was admitting something profound, something that revealed his deepest insecurity and deepest respect for Daly. Woods viewed his own dominance as manufactured, the result of relentless repetition and drilling, fitness, mental conditioning, calculated perfection. But he viewed Daly's ability as innate and natural, pure, organic, natural. Woods believed Daly's baseline was higher, his starting point elevated above Woods' starting point. Daly could generate tour-leading clubhead speed. Daly could possess elite touch around the greens, all without rigid preparation and structure. Tiger felt he needed the gym to achieve what Daly could achieve while actively sabotaging himself with alcohol and cigarettes. This is staggering from a man with 15 major championships. Woods believed Daly's neural connection to the golf club was superior to his own. Woods marveled at how Daly could dominate without rigid preparation required by everyone else. The contrast illustrated their divergence perfectly. Woods ushered in the golf athlete era, strength training, dietary discipline, complete lifestyle redesign and structure. Daly maintained a lifestyle that seemed to sabotage athletic performance. Cigarettes, Diet Coke, junk food. Yet he drove the ball over 300 yards consistently. One story. Daly went on a diet of popcorn and Jack Daniels. He lost 67 pounds in 2.5 months, a medically dangerous regimen. Yet Daly remained competitive and dangerous. The cultural perception crystallized in one anecdote from fans. A person dressed as a generic golfer for Halloween. After excessive alcohol consumption, onlookers rebranded the costume. They called it John Daly. Drunken golfer equals John Daly. That was the image. Woods fought to distance the sport from that image. Yet Woods respected the engine beneath that image. One story reveals Daly's nature precisely. He once got motivated to try practicing seriously. He worked hard and focused. His game got worse and worse. He said forget it and went back to his normal lifestyle immediately. His game improved immediately. Daly's game was intuitive and organic, not mechanical and structured. Imposing structure on chaotic genius disrupted the flow that made him great. Woods, whose game was built on structure, marveled at a man who could thrive without it. Now understand what made Daly impossible to stop in tournament play. His signature club head traveled past parallel at the top, sometimes nearly touching his left ankle. Conventional wisdom says this creates too many moving parts and inconsistency and sloppiness in the swing. But Daly's talent was his remarkable ability to reroute the club back to the ball with perfect squareness at impact, consistently, over and over. This required exceptional hand-eye coordination and timing and feel, innate rhythm and musicality. These things cannot be taught in any gym or training facility. His short game was elite and exceptional. The soft hands, the touch, the incredible feel around the greens. He was a scramble artist, a player who could get up and down from anywhere. Daly could hit a 350-yard drive, followed immediately by a delicate flop shot that landed softly. That combination terrified competitors and opponents. That was what led Tiger Woods to admit he would abandon his workout regimen entirely had he been blessed with Daly's natural gifts. The consensus among golf's greatest legends is consistent and unanimous across all of them. John Daly is not viewed as merely a colorful character or novelty. He is viewed as a singular biological and neurological event in golf, a player who possessed the highest ceiling of raw talent ever seen in the sport, yet who lacked the scaffolding to support it, the structure, the discipline, the management, the longevity, the commitment. Tiger's admission is the ultimate eulogy for Daly's potential and what could have been. It suggests the Tiger era of hyper-athleticism might never have been necessary had Tiger been born with Daly's gifts and talent. Nicklaus's praise of his hands reminds us that beneath the wild thing exterior lay a virtuoso artist and master of the game. Harmon's anger reveals the pain of seeing that art destroyed forever and wasted. Palmer's letters revealed the love the sport had for him. Genuine affection. John Daly is the greatest what-if in golf history. He stands as testimony to the sheer power of natural ability and raw talent, capable of conquering the world's hardest courses on a diet of neglect and chaos and self-destruction. He left the masters of the game wondering endlessly about what could have been. How many majors did he leave in the bottom of a bottle? How many tournaments did he lose to his own hands and demons? The legends still talk about him constantly and frequently, like men haunted by a ghost, like players who saw something they will never see again in their lifetime, like athletes who witnessed pure genius, pure, undeniable, tragic, genius, untamed, and unmanageable. So there you have it. How good was John Daly really when everything is considered? According to Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, Butch Harmon, Arnold Palmer, and Gary Player, he was the best what-if golf has ever known. The greatest ceiling of talent ever witnessed. Wasted potential on display for decades and years. The most fascinating figure in golf history. A legend who never quite became legendary in the way he should have. Thanks for watching this entire video. Please like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments which quote from the legends hit you the hardest and resonated most deeply. Catch you next time.